Welcome to the Massachusetts College of Liberal Arts Weekly Sports Recap Show. I'm your host, Kaylee Anderson, joined alongside Assistant Athletic Director as well as men's baseball coach Jeff Plary. This week, the Trailblazers faced off against Worcester State and Fitchburg State. Unfortunately, the Trailblazers lost to Worcester State last Tuesday, 82-76. MCLA placed 4 players in double figures: John Jones with 15 points, Paul Maurice with 14 points, Jeremy Bennett with 11, and Ruben Del Rosario with 10. MCLA shot a solid 45% from the floor. However, it wasn't enough as the Lancers shot 59% from the floor to take the victory. So, Jeff, can you explain to us a little bit what happened during this game?
Yeah, it was really the defensive game plan that kind of really failed. Worcester shot a torrid, just under 60% from the field, and it's just really tough to win under those conditions. We had some chances down the stretch to pull even, couldn't get the shots to fall, and Worcester made a couple of plays down the stretch to ultimately walk away with the win.
Yeah, I mean, impressive that we did get 4 players, in the double figures, but, an unfortunate loss nonetheless. On Saturday, the Trailblazers took home the victory, battling Fitchburg State. MCLA was led by a 25-point, 10-rebound performance from senior John Jones. With this win, the Trailblazers improved their MASCAC mark to 4-5 and 17-14 overall. The Falcons dropped to 2-17 overall and just 2-6 in MASCAC play. Jones was 10-14 from the floor to collect his 25 points. Bennett added 14 points off the bench, while Ramon Viches ended with 14 as well. Paul Maurice scored 13 points, and Ruben Del Rosario was held to 5 points, but he dished out a season-high 8 assists. MCLA shot 44% from the field. The Trailblazers led by 11 points in the second half, following a pair of Ramon Viches free throws with 14:22 left to play, making it 49-38. However, the Falcons scored 8 straight points to get right back into the game. Fitchburg would start on a 10-1 run to retake the lead to 68-66 with 7 minutes remaining. Neither team would lead by more than 4 points the rest of the way, which led to many opportunities down the stretch. So, Jeff, can you tell us what happened in these last 4 minutes, what the opportunities were here?
Yeah, we really clamped down defensively the last 4 minutes. There was actually a double technical called that went against the Trailblazers, and Fitchburg made 3 straight free throws to climb back on top by 4. And at that point, we held them without a basket until the final free throw in the last 20 seconds of the game, which ultimately helped us walk out with the victory. It was a bit of redemption. Fitchburg's been a little bit of a fly in the ointment. They beat us on our home floor last year in the conference championship, and also earlier this season. So for us to earn a split with them was really key as we try to keep moving forward toward the playoffs.
And speaking of playoffs, can we go a little bit into what the Trailblazers need to do to really push themselves, into the MASCAC playoffs?
Well, they're in a pretty good position to get into the postseason. Now it's all about hopefully just continuing to push for a potential home game. We do have our backs up against the wall a little bit. An important game Tuesday night at Framingham.
Yeah.
Framingham defeated us earlier this year, so it's important with only the 2-game series to earn a split. And then we're off for a full week before we go into our final 2 conference games. So they're still right in the thick of things. They're right in the thick of the playoff race. It's just a matter of potential seeding.
I mean, winning the last 3 out of 4 games, I definitely think Trailblazers are improving, and hopefully we can see them push themselves into the playoffs. In women's basketball, MCLA lost to both Worcester and Fitchburg State. The women were defeated by Worcester State 59-48. Unfortunately, MCLA never led in the contest, but were paced by Kayla Holtling's double-double of 17 points and 10 rebounds, and Courtney McLaughlin coming off the bench doing a phenomenal job scoring 13 points. The Trailblazers shot 31% from the floor, but never got close enough in the second half to recover from the deficit. On Saturday, MCLA traveled to Fitchburg State, where they sadly lost. The Fitchburg State women's basketball team forced MCLA into 32 turnovers and opened the game on a 15-2 run as they defeated the Trailblazers 73-43. The Falcons scored 37 points off of the Trailblazer turnovers. With this loss, MCLA drops their 10th straight game, making them 0-9 in MASCAC play. MCLA didn't have a player reach double figures as they were led by Caitlin Chenevert, coming back from sickness here, and Courtney McLaughlin, who each had 8 points. So, Jeff, do you have any thoughts here about these games?
Yeah, tough week for the women, obviously, with the results. Yeah. They kind of speak for themselves. Just a young bunch that's still trying to find their way. Wednesday, they were forced to play without Kate Chenevert, their senior leader.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Usually a top scorer.
Yeah, and it was a game within reason with Worcester State, and then she came back, albeit under the weather a little bit on Saturday, and it was just a tough road contest where just we couldn't get things going in the right direction, and it snowballed quickly.
Yeah. So the MCLA men and women will be back in action on Tuesday night when they travel to Framingham State. The men will play Thursday also in a non-conference match versus Keene State. So, I mean, what are you expecting in this game versus Framingham? You know, I know you said that very tough competitors.
Yeah, you know, I would expect an up-tempo games on both sides of the floor, the women's side and the men's side. You know, the women lost to Framingham in overtime earlier this season, and the men lost a tight game down the stretch. So I would expect them both to be very competitive, and you know, hopefully the Trailblazers can come out on top.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you there. You know, I hope to see some Trailblazer wins. So continue to cheer on the Trailblazers and follow along with MCLA Athletics by following us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at MCLA Athletics. And continue to watch MassCAG.tv to stay in the know with live games, updates, and stats. On behalf of Jeff Polari, as well as myself, thank you for watching, and go Trailblazers.